get in. It's cold outside. Who do I hear? Where are you? Where are you? There you are, Pilot. Pilot's one of the kitties we adopted. Okay, let's show him the house, Pilot. We'll show him the entryway a bit later in the video. So I started with the mantle like I always do, and I'm going to show you guys what I did first. I ended up changing this because I felt like it might be a bit too much. And you know me, I'm a maximalist, so it can never be too much. I like this idea I had of doing a double mantle by putting a small side table there, but it just felt a little bit too bountiful. And I wanted to do a little bit cleaner look. My idea was to do a memento mori feel for the mantle area, a little bit more of an elegant, pretty fall look. So this is where I started, and this is how I changed it. So I took away the table. As much as I liked it, I felt like it was just taking up a bit of space there, and I need the space. It's a small living room. So what I wanted to do, like I said, was a memento mori feel, and I did that by combining the black and pink with flowers and candles, the skulls in the fireplace, which I really liked how that turned out. And then I incorporated more Victorian style beads hanging everywhere. These are all vintage necklaces. I found a really nice bat from Michael's. I thought it was really well done. I was very surprised at the quality of this piece. This was my favorite at Michael's this year. It's, I think, the only thing I got this year. I already had the metal haunted houses, and then I found a metal haunted house sort of standing piece. You can see them in the background. Those are from Joann's. And I wanted these before. I never saw them at Joann's, and then I just happened to see them. I found the ravens at TJ Maxx, and I love the iridescent coloring on the feathers. It really looks so pretty. I do love these gravestone candles. I got those at Walmart. And I just put those with all of the black and the pink that I already have there. This is an old vintage tollware. It's one of my favorite pieces and the inspiration for a lot of the colors that I did in this living room in the cottage and for Halloween. Another raven. That was a set. And I never saw those again after that first set I found at TJ Maxx. I have a lot of vintage silk roses. I added some clip-on hair pieces to the bats, little spider hair pieces. They're little barrettes. They're cute. I'll always find really cute hair jewelry and Halloween jewelry at TJ Maxx and Marshall's. Here you can see the color of the pink. It's a Pharaoh and Ball color called Pink Ground. It's a nice neutral pink. I added these Gothic windows. We had those at the cabin. My favorite architectural elements is this kind of a crisscross pattern in the glass that you see in old 1930s and 40s cottages. We didn't have that in this cottage, but these kind of replicated that look, and I really like that feel. That color is such a pretty color. It's a very soft neutral. And here you can see how I did the plants in this area. And this is a lot of the furniture that we had at the cabin that we've been moving up here. So most of this you've seen probably before. This is just a different setting. And this is how the living room is looking, which I think it turned out really nice. It's very cozy, has an English cottage vibe to it. I had bought a few things this Halloween season. I really tried to restrain myself this year. My budget's much lower, but we also were downsizing, and I have enough Halloween to decorate probably 3 houses, if I have to be honest. So here was the original color I painted the living room. That's actually a green, but it reads gray in this north-facing room. So that's why I chose the pink. I felt the room just looked gray all over, so I repainted the ceiling and the walls. And that's a pretty little skull I got from World Market. You guys have seen the raven. I made that last year. I found some new albums. We love to play records, and I have a few new albums this year. We got the Nightmare Before Christmas double album. It's really great. Last year, Grant McConnell gave all of her Patreons this wonderful album. I'll show you guys that back in a minute. Grant McConnell, her husband, does the score for Christine's channel, and he signed the album. It's fantastic. I really love it, and it's all the wonderful music that he composes, and that's Grant. I was kind of excited that Grant did something this year, which, you know, he's always kind of in the background in her videos, but this kind of is his project, and I thought that was awesome. This is the Stranger Things album for season 4. We are loving this album. It's got a lot of wonderful songs. The soundtrack is fantastic. And it came with this awesome jigsaw puzzle of Hawkins. I can't wait to put that together. We might do that Halloween night. But we've been listening to that. I love records. I have all my records from when I was a kid, and it's just great fun to listen to them. I'm starting a gallery wall on this wall as well. So really, I just wanted to show you guys the colors and how they're turning out and get your feedback and see what you think. This is a really cool effect that I did. Everybody thinks that we have stained glass windows. These are actually a peel and stick that we got from Lowe's. I bought a few at a time and did the windows one room at a time. They weren't inexpensive and they weren't super expensive. So thinking about doing this, they're about $26 a panel, but it depends on the design. I used the leftover from 2 of the panels to create the top part of this window by just cutting along the leaf pattern, and that gives me a view from the front window. But I completely covered the windows on the sides of the house because we have a 0 lot line, and our windows look directly into our neighbor's house on both sides. And so it's really nice that we still get the light, but there's privacy, which I really appreciate. You'll recognize that ghost from Cracker Barrel. I finally found one and decided I wanted it. I didn't know if I wanted it before, but I'm really glad I got her. She's very pretty. So I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about the pink living room with all the orange and Halloween colors, but it actually worked out really well. Everything kind of complements... Wait, what is this? Wait a minute. Y'all, I am wild when I decorate. Things just kind of end up everywhere. No telling what you'll find in the pillows. So on the wall back here is a sign that I bought a few years ago at Tuesday Morning. And I liked the sign, but I never loved the sign. You saw it hanging in my kitchen in the cabin before. I repainted it. It had a really bright orange moon. It just was, the colors were a little bit strong and it looked cheap. So I thought I'd just tone it down a little bit. I reworked the lettering, and yeah, I think it turned out really pretty. I also love how the colors work with the room as well. So this cabinet, there's a lot going on, just to forewarn you. This is a cabinet that I purchased a few years ago for my antique booth as a display cabinet. It was a pale yellow. It's from the 1960s, and it's a great piece. It's hardwood. And I refurbished it, repainted it, and I put in the wallpaper in the back. I believe I have some video of that. I'll try to insert that here. And all of this in the cabinet, like I said, there's a lot going on, is all of my collectibles. So these are my more rarer or vintage pieces, things I've had for, gosh, over 20, 25 years now. And just all those cherished items that we've grown to love in my family that we look forward to putting out every year. Since the cottage is much smaller, I don't have as much space, so I want to make sure that I kept everything kind of concentrated here in this cabinet so it can all be enjoyed as one collection. I also put our Michael's Haunted Houses, our little spooky Lomax collection, in this cabinet as well. I took the doors off the cabinet so we could see everything a little bit easier, and I'll probably put those back on later, but for now it just gives you the ability to see everything much nicer. I put the collections together by themes like cats and witches or all pumpkins. Still my absolute favorite card I've ever found, this little vintage witch and moon. Those cards are all postcards from the turn of the century. I've been collecting those for over 30 years. They are getting harder and harder to find. It's a little needlepoint I did a few years ago. That cat, I think I got that from TJ Maxx. And these are my vintage pumpkins from seasons gone by, which are reproductions of pumpkins made during the 1940s and 50s. Little noisemakers, things you guys have probably seen here before, just in a different setting. And the fun of Halloween, get to kind of change it up every year. And I love all kinds of Halloween, from vintage to more modern and unique. So I get to have my cake and eat it too. As you can see on the bottom, I am not quite finished, but I got the top done. The wallpaper that I used inside is actually a paper table runner that I got from a fantastic store here in Hot Springs. They have a lot of cool gourmet food items, and this is just one of the items that they had. And I loved it, so I thought I'll use it as my interior. I'll see if I can find a picture of what that print looks like as well. If you're low on space, an old curio cabinet or dining room cabinet is perfect. And here's the living room from this angle. I love the warm, cozy feel of it all. It's Halloween, but it's not quite in your face Halloween, but it is in your face. Old antique trunk that I keep all my vintage Halloween in later. On the stairs, I have a little grouping here that I did with my little skeleton couple. Hi, guys. There I am. And these little cone trees I got years ago at Home Goods. The skeletons I sold in my store years ago, and I love them. They always make an appearance. This painting really is the inspiration for all the colors I chose in the cottage. This from someone on Macari a couple years ago, and I just fell in love with all the colors. It's very moody. There's plums, there's gold, there's blue, there's mauve, there's that pink. And it's reminiscent of the tollware that I collect. I did paint the ceiling pink. Huge credit goes to my husband for letting me do this. It's an experiment. Sure if we'll keep it, but I like it for now. One thing about me is I love painting. I love transforming a room. So it's never a chore. It's a quick and easy way to change your whole vibe. I wanted to show you guys a couple of vintage books. Actually, they're a reproduction of the old, this one's a reproduction of the Halloween bogey books from Denison. I got this last year. Very reasonable because it's a reproduction. And it's got great ideas, party games, food, how to make a crepe paper costume. Highly recommend getting one of these books just for the artwork alone. This is a favorite book of mine as well. It's a Pennsylvania Dutch. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. Paper cutting. Images in this are just fantastic. This one, just amazing. Also fun to look at. And this art I'll show you here at the back of the book. So talented. I mean, look at that. Amazing. Definitely check this book out. I bought this as well last year, and it's a favorite of mine as well. Highly, highly recommend. Wonderful addition to your Halloween book collections. Both of these books, highly recommend. All right, so let's take a look and see how I did the dining room. Let's go this way. Here we're back in the entryway. This piece I had bought for my husband for his birthday a few years ago, and it fit perfectly here in the. We had it in the cabin, and it was always kind of in an awkward spot. It worked, but kind of didn't work. But in this place, it's perfect. And here's our kitties. So we adopted 3 kittens about 6 months ago. We have Spooky, Pearl, and Pilot. Spooky has a ghost on his back. You'll see it here in just a minute. When I first adopted him, I thought it was a diamond, so I named them Diamond and Pearl there's Pearl, after the Prince song. Big fan of Prince. And then it started changing, and it was a ghost, and I could not believe it. Look at that. He's literally got a spooky spooks on the back of his back. Yeah, I'm talking about you, cutie pie. We did not intend to have 3 cats, but here we are. They're wonderful cats, and they have really helped me deal with the loss of Quinn, who will never be replaced, but I have room in my heart for more. This sign I've had for years always makes me laugh. More towelware. This says trick or treat, and those curtains I got at Spirit Halloween, they have the Sanderson sisters flying on them. There's that entryway piece. That's a hall tree. My husband actually decorated this hallway. He's got some of his great-grandparents and some ancestors on the wall there. Got my witchy broom and witchy shoes. My little John Darien kitty cat. Love him. I just love him. He's so fun. Little bat bowl. Oh, I did get this at Michael's. I just got a few things at Michael's this year. Didn't go crazy. It's my old Mackenzie Childs purse. And here you can see into the living room from this area. That gives you a good idea. There's a couple of vintage blow mold pumpkins. I found those in an antique shop and really love them. They're a little slightly different shade, but they're awesome nonetheless. And I found the tiniest little table for my entryway table at Goodwill for $15. The adorable witchy frog on the pumpkin is from Home Goods. And on the wall, I have some of my milagros. You know me, I kind of fascinated with religious artifacts. Painting is from an artist in Georgia. We got that at Hippie Fest. It kind of completes our heart theme there. Too cute. The curtains are from Spirit Halloween. They are the Sanderson sisters, and they say, "Come, we fly." Also, they had a light or battery-operated lights that went into the back side of them, so you could hang those panels on a door. I didn't use the battery lights. Mademoiselle Skelly is back, and she appears to be about to type up something to let us know maybe what she's reading. What are you reading? Oh, The Headless Horseman, a classic. Yes, this is a good one. And is this Edward Gorey? Oh, okay. Excellent taste. As you can see here in the dining room, it was originally this gold yellow color. It was kind of awful, and I painted it blue, a powder blue. I also did the stained glass effect on these windows. That's where I first tried it. Fell in love with it. We just had a little Halloween party for the kids, so a little aftermath there. You remember Dandolph Gumbledore, my wizard that I made last year. And he's here in the dining room in a safe spot. He's kind of become the house mascot. Little pumpkin I made a couple of years ago. And the dining room, we have a lot of plants. I did a little witchy garden in here. I have a little bonsai. I found this little skeleton early in the season as well. That is from Bed Bath & Beyond last year, and I have just a little bit left of the pumpkin carving candle, and I'm saving that for tomorrow night. I have my little witchy garden. And you can see the walls a little better in here. In all the rooms, I did white linen drapes. This is a candle maker, a candlestick maker. I used to put my dried flowers in. And in this cabinet, I have, it's kind of the Halloween party cabinet. Everything's sort of stuck in there that I use for my parties, all my dinnerware, plates, dishes, props, anything that I need to create a spooky setup is corralled in here right now. It's a little chaotic, but my life's a little chaotic right now, so we'll just have to go with it. I wanted to show you guys, I found these amazing Christopher Radko ornaments at a thrift store. They were in a hodgepodge ornament bag. Some were broken and some were in perfect shape. And you know what? When you're at a thrift store and you see a bag full of ornaments, they're always worth looking at. That bag, I found 6 really nice pieces. And really was a nice score for when I put up our little Halloween tree next year. There's all kinds of fun things in my little cabinet. And it's just a way. Oh, and let me show you guys this. This is from Nordic Ware. It is a bundt pan, and it's in the shape of a haunted house. And my intention was to make this cake for the Halloween party, but I did not have the ability to do that this year, but I have it. But isn't it awesome? I cannot wait to try this out. As soon as I make a cake in here, I'll show you guys. It may be next year, but I will show you guys. Joanna Parker candy bowl. This room's still a work in progress, but I do like the blue in here much better. That 90s Tuscan gold was not it. It was a little harsh and heavy for this room. And this comes back into our little entryway. So as you can see, my colors are kind of blending from a blue to blue-green to this pretty pale pink. And really, guys, I love it. Like I said, I'm not sure if we're going to stay with it, but it works for now. This is, if you guys will remember, first in the cabin, this is the room I used as my bedroom. And I painted it a really pale green. That is from Grandin Road. All right, look outside. Here is our little graveyard and our big skeleton, our big skellies back there. It started to rain. It's been raining for a few days, and the fall leaves started to come down. It was so pretty. I thought, oh my gosh, I got to show you guys. So here I ran outside, and look at this. This is so pretty. I don't know what it is about when it rains and the leaves start falling from the trees this time of year. It was just like the perfect fall day. Unfortunately, it rained all day of our party, and the kids did not get to go outside and enjoy our little graveyard. Okay, so let me finish showing you. This room now is my husband's office. So he decorated all of this room. These are all of his fun things he's collected over the years. He put this whole Scottish shield together. His heritage is Scottish. And there's just fun things that he's collected over the years. He was an Army veteran, so he's got some things from that time when he was stationed in Germany. The color of the walls is a mauve or mauve, depending on where you're from. And I love this color. It is a soft, soft color, very English looking, and really works well with all of the dark brown and cherry tones that Mac has in his office. Last year's mantle decor, me freezing my ass off, what the walls look like, Taylor Tack and Color Inspo, colors that I chose. I showed you guys these before. This is the way the dining room looked before, the living room. Kind of dug those orange doors, not gonna lie. Yeah, so, kind of needed a little makeover. My Quinn. Thank you for watching. I'll have a part 2 up in the next day or so.